As real estate consultants, Martina and Frank understand the demands of home ownership. However, caring for an urban modern-style lakeside oasis feels effortless and almost meditative. But first, we'll visit David, who after making a living in big city construction, returned to his roots to make a life on the coast. Surrounded by features that awaken the senses, he can confidently confirm he is home to stay.
Yeah, maybe you should come home. You've been saying it for so long. Let the water lift you from the city's undertow. Yeah, maybe you should come home.
Water, deep, flowing, mysterious, ever-changing yet constant. The inspiration of artists and adventurers. It's the foundation of life. We are drawn to it, to watch it, listen to it, immerse ourselves, and for those who choose, to live beside it.
Maybe you should come home.
My name is David Bishop, and I'm retired, and mess around with building new homes to keep me busy. I spent most of my time in Toronto, where I did my career in construction for almost 50 years. I remember coming down here as a youngster with my sister every summer. I missed it so much, and I missed the ocean and the people and my relatives. My roots are down here, so it didn't take me much to move back down here. Bought this property from a gentleman. He was from Vermont, and he bought a lot of property in this area, and this one in particular, he had a foundation put in, as they call it, the grandfather's clause. You can't build any closer to the water like this anymore. You've got to be back 20 meters or 26 meters from the water. Unfortunately, he and his wife split, so he didn't quite finish the house. So I had my eye on it for a number of years, and I thought this is the time to talk to him, see if he'd sell it to me, which he did. So I built this, but we both love it down here so much. And time's going by so quickly, that's how much we enjoy it. So, and we travel around the neighborhood quite a bit, and the neighbors here are just wonderful. Keep an eye on each other, and if there's any type of fire truck or ambulance goes by, everybody's on the phone with who's sick. Like any small community, it's like that. So it's just wonderful. So I have a lady down the road here. I buy eggs from her once a week, and she makes me pies. Another neighbor bakes for me as well, and I reciprocate, and I sometimes make muffins and so on. And so yeah, it's a happy community. It really is. And there's only full-time people here, I'd say maybe 70 people. We have a great lobster fishing community as well. They start in the last week of November. And they're out there 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, before it gets too windy and so on. They come back, and I think they do fairly well for themselves. I love the weather here. I like the fog rolling in. I can see it rolling in from, out the coast there. And I don't mind the fog, the rain, the wind. It's part of living down here. Coming in that front door, the first thing that hits me is the fireplace, and it's a focal point of the whole area. My favorite room is the dining room with a panoramic view. A lot of people have said the same thing. When they come in, they're blown away with the view. That's what it's all about, really. Yeah. You can't beat it. It's a wow factor that they used to say. And I never get tired of coming in that entrance door and looking at the view. Simple. I had a designer from Halifax do the design of this house, which I was really very happy. And I had an interior decorator pick the colors because I haven't got a clue on colors. A lot of windows, so wherever you turn, you always see the water. But my kitchen is my favorite spot. I love cooking. That in the living room, of course, and I like sitting by the fireplace in the winter or whatever when I have it on and read my book. I love reading. Then you go through this other door, and it's where my den office is. Then up the stairs, there's a large window that captures the sun as it's traveling from east to west, and around 3 in the afternoon, it just comes right down the stairs. It's a beautiful sight. And from there, there's a balcony which commands a great view of the bay. It's quite a view. Yeah, the exterior of the property has a lot going on for it. In particular, I would say that the garden I put in, there's 7 of them. It's a lot of work. It keeps me busy in the summer months. A lot of people commented on that. And the landscape, I had a landscape company do the stonework and so on, which really turned out well. Very pleased with that. So, yeah, there's a spot outside I'd like to go down. It's quite a chore for me now, but it's you go down the rocks when the tide's out. There's a nice little beach down there, and that's where I go swimming. It's cold, but once you get in, it's wonderful. Invigorating, they say. Sitting at the front of the house, overlooking the bay, the blue nose sailing by, or the eastern star, or whatever. It's just a great sight to see. Yeah, to get away from the main house, I walk over to the garage occasionally, but I do have a gym on the ground floor. Yeah, so the gym, like I said, every other day I go there and spend an hour and a half. So this used to be a fishing community, and right next to our property was a shuttle boat that went from that rock over to Lunenburg. And if you go over to that rock, you'll see a lot of inscriptions on the rocks. 1786, 1790, beautiful to see. We've had a lot of storms, and this house shakes quite a bit. And even though it's what they call ICF walls, it's insulated concrete forms, and it's pretty solid. It's 18 inches thick. But on the second floor, it's only 2x6 construction. So it does shake quite a bit when you get winds hitting around 90, 80 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. It's unique. It hasn't blown away yet. I have all the free time in the world, so what I get up to is do a lot of walking. I visit my neighbors. I visit the one that makes me my pies and gives me my eggs, and we'll play cribbage. And I've yet to beat her. I think she's always skunking me or whatever, and she's now 84. Every morning I'm up early, take the dog out for a walk, and the first thing I just breathe in that wonderful salt air that comes off the bay. It's just something you'd have to experience yourself. It's so calm usually at 6:37 in the morning. And if it's a foggy day, it's a peaceful feeling. It's just you're on your own. There's nobody around. Just me and the dog. Love it. I would never trade this for anything. I don't care where you go. This is the best spot in the world as far as and I've done a lot of traveling. This is the spot to be. As a matter of fact, I think they call it the Blue Zone, if I'm not mistaken, where people live over 100 years old. There's lots of folks around here, 105, 110. If somebody offered me $2 million, I might consider it. I don't want to sell it, because if you sell it, you lose it. And that's how much I like it. I miss it too much. I don't think I could ever sell it, unless you put me in a home. The Blue Zone, I believe there's 6 or 7 of them in the world, and I'm fortunate to be in one of them, in that Lunenburg area. So I'm going to try my best to get at least to a century. We'll see. I think it's a calming effect for people. I really can't describe the feeling living by the water. And if you ask anybody down here, they'd probably say the same thing. You'd have to live it yourself to get the feel. I have friends and family that come down all the time, back and forth. Old business associates, they'll come down, they don't believe their eyes. So they want to come back again and again, which I love. I love having company drop by and having a good chat about things. And people that come down here when the weather's good, hard to get rid of them.
The first thing which came to my mind when I saw the property first was the distance to the lake.
The distance to the water itself from the front door is amazing. The peace and calmness of this property. Obviously, the lake is what excited us because, we can basically step outside and be in a kayak.
I've really enjoyed fishing here, this lake. We have trouts, we have perches, we have everything here. Water has always been part of my life because living in Hamburg, it's a port city, and being on the water or at the water was always my preference.
Water has always been part of my life. Growing up in Hamburg, living in Nova Scotia, I think being by water is awesome and important. It comes naturally.
The biggest difference between Hamburg and Nova Scotia is probably the calmness of this province compared to the busy life in a big city with approximately 2 million people. To live here on the lake, have nobody around you, and have it like as you wish.
When you come into this house, the first thing you're going to see is the lake. And that's the prettiest part. You basically come in and you focus on the front windows and all you see is water. So you're basically stepping toward the lake within a house. If you want to go upstairs, you are coming into, again, the same thing because you're stepping into the master bedroom and all you see is lake. So you're part of nature when you live in this house. The way it's laid out, it is almost like a bunker or like a container home. It's basically long, so front and back and a little bit side, left and right, but mainly long.
My favorite room in this house is the living room. We start every morning in the living room with our coffee, have our chairs turned around to the windows and the lake, and that's the view we start every morning with.
So when we come down, the first thing we do is we basically plunk ourselves in our, call them stressless chairs if we're not using brands here, but they are truly lovely and we just hang out and sort of wake up slowly.
Every morning when we start the coffee in the winter time, I will start at the same time the fireplace, and it will give us the warmth during the whole day.
The wood stove, I really enjoy that for heat and for vision. I like looking at it. So when we light a fire here, you just look at it, it's meditative.
With a fire going in the wintertime, that's the most nice place. The most unique part of this house is probably the floor with in-floor heat, the concrete polished floor with in-floor heat.
The most unique is the kitchen cook stove, which is propane. I've never cooked with propane before we moved here. The person who built and designed this home was actually in the future. People used to think that you have floor on the ceiling and the ceiling on the floor. I mean, you know, it looks like that should be on the bottom, what you see up top, because it's a perfect wooden floor. When he built it, it wasn't really fashioned, but now it is. People have ceilings that should be on the floor. It's unique. This house is actually a minimalist dream. It's modern, but it is also clean, tidy, and you see what you like, and if you don't like it, you remove it. The driveway here is sort of like a snake. It's level, which is nice in the winter. And you meander down, and as you park, first thing you see is a lake. So generally, you know, even when we get deliveries, people get out of the car and bring the parcel to the door. They're like, oh my God, wow. It feels like you're walking or driving into a park. And it's all natural, which I like. The bit of lawn that we have to maintain and cut is just minimal. And because we have a lot of rocks and stones about, it looks like it's all natural and it all blends in. It's basically deep wood, and you don't know what's coming out of it because there could be anything coming out of it type feeling. And truly, you know, we've seen bobcat and whatnot come out. Sometimes you just walk out and you say, I wonder what's gonna be out there. And you kind of come out a little bit, I don't know, respectful and surprising as you come out. And I don't know if that is a weird feeling or a good feeling or a scary feeling sometimes. It's just you're in the middle of it all. So to describe the yard or coming to the house is basically you're in a park-like nature environment.
The thing I like most at the outside is the woods. I'm cutting all our firewood from this lot. We have 4.5 acres. So that's what I'm doing in the spring and in the fall. The main part we changed with this property is the garage. It was a shell and we put in a metal roof and metal siding. That was the first thing to winterize it. It was necessary to do this first thing. For me, the nicest place to hang out outside is the deck. It has a roof and it's facing the lake. So it has everything. Even today with the rain, you can sit outside and enjoy it.
The house is full circle in way of that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 doors. You can walk around it and you can come out whatever door and you can really enjoy. You're a nature lover, you're gonna enjoy taking a deep breath. So that's basically, first thing I notice is the good air. Because of the lake and the trees, honestly, the air is extremely nice here. It is really, really nice.
I would relax inside the house in my stressless chair reading a book. That's the thing.
I'm a knitter, so I need to sit in a comfy chair. So that's where I go to relax and enjoy. My kids used to call me Mother Nature when I was, when they were little. I used to always paddle around in the garden. So I pick wildflowers and, I look around to see what's up. If there's anything new that grew, we have a little bit of a garden here. And we don't do much, but it's careless gardening, so things that the slugs don't eat. So it's nice to look at that. What we also do is we go to the ocean and we bring in seaweed. We bag it and bring it in. I've always done that. We put it on our little beds, raised beds. And whenever Frank cuts down anything or chops wood, I always make sure that he doesn't burn the sawdust. I put it in the garden or I put it around. And I just like to see it all. It's just very, very pretty. The diversity of nature is what is so nice. And it's refreshing. You don't really need to do anything. You just go outside and enjoy nature. What I like about it is just the feeling and the view and the smelling of the air and just listening to the birds. It's a sing-song if you want. That's what I like. What I find has been exciting, when we've lived here, we've had a few power outages and of course hurricanes, power outages. And we don't care in a way because we have gas stove, we have a barbecue, and we can go swimming in the lake or even have, call it a shower. I wash my hair in the lake. So we're totally self-sufficient. So when you're by the lake, you have a feeling of freedom. You just basically have a self-sufficiency feeling.
What I like is, beside going fishing, is swimming in the lake and kayaking.
August, September, it's like bathwater.
Yeah.
Even though the lake is really...
I would say like 23, 24 degrees Celsius.
I would say there's nothing more relaxing than to sit in a kayak because it's very soothing. It's almost like laying in a bathtub, except, different. You're active. We're active minds. We're mind people. So if you want to relax as a busy mind, going kayaking on a lake, it's the best. Honestly, it is absolutely the coolest. Living here actually brings you down to your core if you want, because it's so calming around you. Whatever happened to you or is happening to you, this is a good spot to possibly heal, get grounded, reconnect to yourself, just be in tune and at awe at nature. So this is a good oasis to come back to or come to.
I believe people like to be that close to the water because the possibilities to just get not dressed and jump into your car and to drive to the next possible beach or water. This is just like 50 feet and you are in the water, and that's about it. You can swim, you can kayak, you can fish, you can do everything.
To leave this place would be difficult. After having enjoyed all the moments here and all the diversity it has to offer, the immediate satisfaction of living so close by the water is what is so amazing about it. They say home is where your heart is. So basically wherever you feel comfortable, sheltered, relaxed, able to enjoy and breathe easy, and you can just be yourself, that's what home is.
Whether nestled alongside a riverbank or perched high above a distressed ocean, living on the shore has its perks. But beautiful views are only the beginning. The sights, sounds, and sensations of the water are constant in their impact, improving moods, perspectives, and lives. To exist and grow on its edge is extraordinary, an experience made even sweeter when shared with the people we love.
Yeah, maybe you should come home. You've been saying it for so long.